Hey everyone, welcome to my vlog channel and welcome to 2023. I hope the new year has started off good for everyone. Mine certainly has. I started counseling on the 3rd and I wanted to talk a little bit about what it was like and what was pretty much discussed and what I thought after I left. So the gentleman that I am going to be seeing weekly for a bit is really, really nice. He's actually a few years younger than me, and I was telling him just how I felt this December. And I was surprised to find out that he said in my particular age group that you're going into a different period of your life, and it's actually not uncommon for people around my age to be depressed to some point because you're sort of at this precipice. You know you can't go back in time, and you sort of do a mental review of everything, and then you're wondering, well, what do I do from here on in? And a lot of that, he said, did make sense for me. So I I was surprised because I was thinking, well, I don't remember my mom going through anything like this. But then again, she had serious heart issues and she had, the early stages of dementia. So I really don't know if in fact she did or didn't. What I did find interesting was he did a very thorough, like a health assessment with me, previous counseling in my past, like a family background sort of thing. And he was genuinely interested in like what occurred with my mom. And I said, well, I was never told what she was diagnosed with, what if she took any med. I genuinely was never told anything about her when she was in a hospital, and I wasn't told anything when she got out. It was like such a big secretive thing. Nothing was ever said to me by my grandmother or my mother. And now, I mean, that information could actually be very useful. He also was, I think, somewhat curious because of the fact that my youngest son has ADHD, hyperactivity, and medication just didn't work with him when he was young. And my oldest son is bipolar. Now, again, there's issues from their father's background. But now I genuinely have to admit that their father didn't find out he himself was bipolar till he tried to kill himself in front of me in my yard many years ago. It took 4 Hazleton police officers to subdue him and knock a knife out of his hand. He was sitting in a chair with a knife pointed at his stomach. I didn't believe he was actually going to harm himself. I think it was basically a cry for help. I genuinely do. But he was signed himself into a hospital, and he had wound up staying for roughly 7 weeks. And, he had told me they assessed him as being bipolar. And I had said to him, well, I told you for years when we were together that I used to call him Jekyll and Hyde, because it would seem every few months he would just go, I want to say, bat crazy and disappear for a few days and be on a drinking binge and, Lord knows what, how much weed he smoked or whatever. And then he would be okay for a few months. And it was bizarre. And I knew when something was going to happen because he would buy me something unexpected and something expensive, and I'd be like, okay, how pissed off am I going to be this time? And so I knew, that there was something not right with him. So it didn't surprise me in the least. So that can explain my children. But, I mean, I do wonder if perhaps on my family side, is there, things maybe that, you know, have affected me in my lifetime, and now maybe are becoming an issue? I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know. So I'm excited to find out. Just because, I mean, it's good for my children to know. And, like for my son to know in regards to, his own children. I mean, my granddaughter has issues with depression very bad. And she signed herself into a hospital almost 2 years ago. And it was just very, very hard for her what was going on with their parents and everything. And it was a complete shocker to me. So there is these issues in my family. And so trying to figure out, what may have occurred with my mom and me is a big part of figuring out, how I have acted in certain situations in my life. So as my treatment progresses, I genuinely don't want anyone thinking that I am bashing my mom in some way or something, because I'm not. I mean, I've never hid the fact that my mom and I went through a period where, I don't know, it just seemed like she hated me for whatever reason, and she was horrible to me. She was nasty, she was rude, she was just evil. And then it's like a few years later, the pendulum swung the other way, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And we were in a much better place by the time I had my oldest son. And thankfully, I don't know if that was just something she was going through, that she was projecting onto me. Obviously, me turning 13 at the time triggered something in her, But it's funny because the conversation that I had with my mom's cousin a few days before she passed opened up a lot of things about my mom and my father, my grandparents, that I started writing things down when, like I kind of remembered things. And so perhaps it overwhelmed me along with the certain dates in December. And, it's like maybe now at 58, I am forced to look back at certain things and, realize that maybe they weren't just eccentric things. They may have actually been mental health issues. I don't know. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting journey. So for those of you who are new, as I said, I don't want you to think that I am bashing anyone in my family. I'm not. Back years ago, a mental health treatment was different than what it is now, obviously. And, I genuinely believe that back in the day, I don't think people necessarily, when they quote unquote were actually in therapy or something, I don't necessarily think they got the help that they needed. Medication seemed to be a thing to push on people. And I'm not a big fan of that. I genuinely am not. I mean, like, it's different if you have a certain, condition that requires medication. But I think there was a trend where it was just a thing to give everybody medication, and as I said, no, I don't go for that. I genuinely don't. I think it's messed up a lot of children, and as adults, I just think, I know from my own experience with my oldest son, at 14, they were always switching his meds. He either slept for 2-3 days, or he was awake for 2-3 days. They could never find that right balance. And then once he turned 15, he said, no, I am done with all of this. I need to find something that will help me deal with this, and it's not going to be medication. And he started writing music. There is actually videos of him on YouTube where he had done performances. He was doing a little bit of underground rap. I'm going to have to find some of his videos and ask him, if maybe I could do a video for my blog channel or my regular channel, um, showcasing it, you know, because, I mean, I was proud of him, like writing his own music and just having the guts to get out there and do his thing. And obviously it was therapeutic for him in some way. And I'm always impressed that he took that chance to actually try and do something. And good for him. Yeah. Um, I just think so many things are overwhelming, and it just all hit me at one time, you know. I do feel better, not 100%, but I will say I do feel better. And, you know, like I said, this channel is going to be basically my journey. But I am going to do other videos on different topics. I want to do a video about credit scores, because this absolutely drives me crazy. I also want to do a video soon about the cost of living adjustment and food stamps. So what's going on with food stamps in a lot of states right now. And obviously going to double check and triple check any facts I have in my videos. But again, also personal experiences, you know, experiences of people around me that are really being affected by that cost of living increase. You know, so thank you so much, guys, for, you know, coming here and joining my channel. You know, like I said, this is going to be a little bit different than my main channel. And, you know, I hope you stay around and, you know, see what I talk about on here. If there ever is a topic that you would actually like to talk about, let me know in the comments. You know, like I said, as long as it's not religious or political, you know, I could probably do a video in relationship to whatever it may be. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to say that I got a very good vibe with my therapist, and I'm going to be going on a weekly basis, and I think this is going to be very, very beneficial for me. It just really surprised me to find out that's not uncommon in my age group. I guess in a way it's similar to like people with the empty nest syndrome, except that for people in my age group, you know, getting older, it's just kind of like a review, fear of the unknown, apprehension. What do I do now at this point in my life? Like, do I have a purpose kind of thing? So I was actually really surprised to find out that, you know, it's not uncommon. And I'm going to say, I guess it's like an onion. You know, you start with the surface, working your way through the layers to really, really find out what is at the center, cause of everything. And I don't know. It's a journey, but a good one. I do believe it's a good one. And I will let you guys know. So, hey, thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't, do subscribe to this channel along with my main. And I'll be seeing you all real soon. Because I do want to talk about the cost of living adjustment. And the positive and the negatives of it. And I'll be seeing you all real soon. Bye.